welcome to the next booster video for CA Foundation Law. In this video, we are going to discuss just one concept and the most important concept of Companies Act. This is one concept in which many students have doubt, and the case law has been requested by many of you in the doubt solving session also. Then there are exceptions to the doctrine of indoor management. We are going to discuss that also. So this entire video is dedicated to just one concept, that is the Turkan's rule and exceptions to that rule. So let's get started. But before that, if you are enjoying the booster videos, then do subscribe now and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications for all the upcoming videos. Today I'm going to first discuss the case law, Royal British Bank versus Turkand. Many of you had a doubt in this case law, so let us discuss. Mr. Turkand was the official manager or liquidator of the insolvent company, and the name of the company is given. It's not important, even if you don't remember this name, it's okay. But since it's a case law, it'll be better if you write the name of the company. And it's not that difficult also. Okay, so Mr. Turkand was the official manager or liquidator of the insolvent company. Now the company wanted some money. So they gave a bond to the bank, which was under the company's seal. Okay, so they gave a bond for 2,000 pounds to Royal British Bank, and the bank allowed them to borrow against the current account. So it's like an overdraft. The bond was under the company's seal, signed by two directors and secretary. So it was a properly drafted document. The bank had no reason to doubt. When the company was sued, now wait, I would like to discuss this in some simple sentence. Did you understand the facts that Mr. Turkand was the liquidator of an insolvent company? The company required money, so they gave a bond as security to the bank and obtained money. The company started overdrawing against their current account. They reached the limit and the bank says, बस अब और borrow नहीं करना, तुम्हारा limit पहुंच गया है. You have given us a bond for 2,000 pound. We want to enforce it. Mr. Turkand बोलते अरे company जरा सुनना. Listen. See, the company was authorized to borrow only what the company could borrow only what was authorized by a resolution. Ordinary resolution was passed, but it did not specify the amount that the company could borrow. तो देख बैंक, कंपनी उतना ही बोरो कर सकती थी जितना उसके रेजोल्यूशन में ऑथराइज्ड है. एक रेजोल्यूशन हमने पास की, ऑर्डिनरी रेजोल्यूशन पास की, लेकिन उसमें अमाउंट नहीं लिखा ना जितना कंपनी बोरो कर सकती थी. बैंक तू भूल जाए ऐसा कोई लोन था. Forget about this loan. Now you tell me, can the bank recover loan from the company? See, the company in the resolution had only authorized the company to borrow, but how much they could borrow, that was not mentioned. So it's an incomplete resolution. Na? Mr. Turkand is asking the bank to forget about this loan. Can they do so? Or can the bank recover that money? In this case, students, what kind of resolution is passed? Ordinary resolution. Ordinary resolution is not a public document. It is not required to be filed with ROC. Special resolution is passed. So if this is not filed with ROC, okay, special resolution is filed with ROC. If ordinary resolution is not filed with ROC, how will the bank come to know what is the amount which is authorized by the resolution? See, they will only check the memorandum and articles which authorize the company to borrow only what was authorized by the resolution. So they just verified, "Arey company, have you passed a resolution?" Company said yes. Because it was an ordinary resolution, we had no means to verify. So can you blame the bank for that? No. See, the bank will only check whether a resolution was passed. They have no means of checking what was written inside the resolution. This is the rule of indoor management, that the company's indoor affairs are the company's problem. How are we supposed to know what is going on inside the company? if students there is some irregularity, okay, if there is some irregularity in following the procedure, then you cannot blame the outsider. See, outsider is presumed to have knowledge what is written in the memorandum and articles, special resolution and other public documents. How can you expect the outsider to know whether the rules, the provisions which are mentioned in the documents, they are actually followed or not? How can you blame the outsider for any irregularity in following the procedure? So students, this is very closely related to the concept of constructive notice. Constructive notice says that we assume if you are entering into contract with a company, you know everything about the company, you have read the documents. But how can you expect the outsider to know about what is written in that, whether the what is written in that document is actually followed or not? So the rule of indoor management is actually trying to protect the outsiders, that it is trying to protect the third party. So that is the rule of indoor management, also known as the Turkan's rule. So here the bank won the case, bond was valid, they could enforce the bond. But there are certain exceptions, and we are going to discuss all these exceptions with the case law and examples. Happy? Yes, many of you had requested, so let us discuss the exceptions. Now, under these circumstances, you cannot hold the company liable. See, first we had constructive notice. Then we brought indoor management, which is an exception to constructive notice. And now in that also we are bringing exceptions. So can I say indirectly everything is going in favor of the company? Okay. If you had actual or constructive knowledge of irregularity, actual knowledge means we actually came and told you about the irregularity. In spite of that, you entered into a contract. Then you cannot blame the company on the grounds of indoor management. Then the company is not liable. Constructive notice means we assume that you have knowledge. We are presuming that you have knowledge. How will a person have knowledge? Tell me. Because he himself is a party to that transaction. So if you are a party to that transaction, we will assume that you know about the company, that you know about the irregularity. Let's go through the case law. In Howard versus Patent Ivory Manufacturing, the case which is given in the module is actually incomplete. Now, a company was authorized to borrow, let's say, £10,000 without the approval of members in the general meeting. So, for £10,000, the directors could borrow without seeking the approval of the members. But the directors themselves lent $35,000 without the approval of the members. Can the directors recover this amount from the company? No. See, directors are presumed to have knowledge of the irregularity, and you yourself are party to that transaction. See, how can directors claim that I don't know? You are a director, you're supposed to know about the regularity and irregularity in following the procedure. You will not get the benefit of indoor management. You will only be able to recover £10,000 from the company. Suspicion of irregularity. I was suspicious. Array, if you would have inquired, you would have known that the company cannot enter into this transaction. It is not following the procedure. If you had doubt, अगर थोड़ा doubt था, inquire कर लेते तो पता चल जाता. अब तुमने inquire ही नहीं किया तो फिर तुम्हें indoor management का benefit कैसे मिलेगा? Very interesting case law students. कंपनी का जो अकाउंटेंट है वो आपके पास आता है और बोलता है डू यू वांट टू बाय द लैंड ऑफ द कंपनी. अब आप सोच रहे हो यार ये अकाउंटेंट है, हाउ कैन ही एंटर इनटू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फॉर सेल ऑफ लैंड, इज जस्ट एन अकाउंटेंट. फिर भी आप ध्यान नहीं देते हो, आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर लेते हो और अभी आप कंपनी को बोल रहे हो तुम्हारा अकाउंटेंट आया था लैंड की डील लेके, मैंने तो पैसे दे दिए उसको, अभी वो लैंड देने से मना कर रहा है, चलो कंपनी लैंड मेरे नाम पे ट्रांसफर करो. तुम्हें डाउट था ना, थोड़ा इन्वेस्टिगेट करते तो पता चल जाता ना. So if you are in doubt, if you have suspicion of irregularity, if you could have investigated, तो पता चल जाता कि यार ये तो गलत हो रहा है, तुमने कुछ किया ही नहीं. You will not get the benefit of indoor management. So if you are suspicious, always inquire. Now, A is the director. Now, this is the case law, Houghton versus Northardt. Okay. A is a director in two companies. Yeah, it's possible. I can be a director in two companies. Now, you are a creditor of company B. You got a check which was signed by the director A, but the check was drawn on company A's account. Now you are a creditor of company B. You are getting a check which is drawn on A's banker. Okay? A is the drawer of the check. A means company A is giving you the money, so the money will go from company A's account. Now you are creditor of company B. Won't you think? Won't you be suspicious? I have given goods to company B. Why is company A making payment? But you are very smart. You say पैसा आता है आने दो, and you keep the money. Later on, company A objects, why should we pay? He's not our creditor. Can you say, how will I know about the irregularity? You were suspicious, no? You should be suspicious. How can company A pay the money to creditor of company B? If you were suspicious, you should have inquired. Next, we have forgery. The doctrine of indoor management does not apply to forgery. Why? Because forgery is a nullity. It's a void. In fact, it is void ab initio. You cannot blame the company for forgeries committed by officers. Very interesting case law. Rubin versus Great Fingal Consolidated. Now, Mr. Rubin purchased shares of the company. The secretary issued a share certificate by affixing seal of the company and also forging the signature of two directors. Now, company secretary forged the signature, gave the certificate to Rubin. Rubin now wants to be registered as the member of the company. The company refused, saying, no, there is forgery. This document is not valid. So Rubin argued, that's your internal matter. How am I supposed to know the signatures of the director? If there is forgery, that is your lookout. But the law says no, forgery is a nullity. It is void ab initio. You cannot blame the company for forgery committed by officers. The officers will themselves be liable. So over here, the company secretary who has forged the document will be liable. You cannot take action against the company. So in these three circumstances, we cannot take action against the company. The rule of indoor management will not apply. Can we say it is like rule of doctrine of constructive notice only? So why introduce these exceptions? Well, okay, so there was no actual use of the Turkan's rule or the indoor management. There are so many exceptions that we have introduced. So students, in this video, I have covered only one concept from Companies Act because I know that you guys are worried only about this concept. So I chose this. Now, I have shared a list of important questions on my website. I have also prepared a list of all the important videos, okay, concept videos, and I have shared it on various social media platforms. So you can go and download that PDF. Link of all the important videos is given in one PDF. So we have RTP discussion, paper discussion, important videos of Contract Act, partnership, sale of goods. Do download that. There's no registration required. It's a free download. Download it and you will get a list of all the important videos. Students, don't feel scared. I know it is inevitable. डर तो लगता है, ये पहला प्रोफेशनल एग्जाम है हमारा, डर तो लगेगा, लेकिन CA is all about how you face and conquer this fear. तो डरना नॉर्मल है, हमारा तो यही मंत्रा है, फियर इज नॉर्मल, डरना नॉर्मल है, बस हमें काम रहना है, कॉन्फिडेंट रहना है कि हमने अच्छे से पढ़ाई की है एंड एग्जाम तो अच्छा जाएगा ही, इतनी मेहनत की है आप सब ने. तो इसी के साथ हमारे जो फिलहाल के बूस्टर वीडियोस की सीरीज है वो खत्म होती है एंड आई एज प्रॉमिस्ड आई विल कंटिन्यू दीज बूस्टर वीडियोस फॉर द November 21 अटेम्प्ट ऑल्सो. ठीक है, तो आई डोंट वांट टू कंज्यूम अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम. जाने से पहले do subscribe to Theory Masters Learning and hit the bell icon, and also yes, visit my website theorymasterslearning.com for books and lectures.